And welcome back. This is just a mini tutorial on showing the set offsets in the Witty library. It's a continuation from the previous tutorial we just did. Basically what I've done in the Offsets 1 project in Komodo Edit is I've created an additional box and an additional container. I changed container from container to container 1 and added an additional variable called container 2. So now you still have container, I just changed it to container 1. I got rid of the margin, the padding, and the resize. We kept the offset, so container 1, all the offsets have been set to 100 pixels. The left, the right, the top, the bottom. Container 2, on the other hand, is going to have a dark background color, a border that is going to be black, a relative position of a positioning scheme of relative, or the CSS position of relative, and I set the offsets for the right, the bottom, and the left of 200 pixels, and I would make this mandatory. I set the offset for the top to 0, because I notice if I don't give this a position, it's going to hide the container that's supposed to be displayed on the screen. And then we also have a background color of blue for this container. And then for the root container, I should say, the background color is blue. And then I also resized the root container to keeping the length the way it should be, the length of the browser window. And the height is 800 pixels. So if you go ahead and compile this, and then let's look at the final output of what it looks like on the screen. So if we take a look, you see our background, our root container is blue, is 800 pixels, and just ignore the edge, the white background. There is like an edge around the root container. That's the way that the Witty framework has been built. But if you look at this, we have an 800 width widget for the root, and then look at our box 1 according to the same coordinates we had in the first tutorial, 100 pixels relative to itself using set offset. But then for this one we set the right, the top, and the bottom, or I should say we set the left, the right, and the bottom, and the top is going to be 0. So you can see, because the offset, the top was 0, it's above our first box. And of course it's been set off 200 pixels to the left and to the right and from the bottom, which really doesn't do too much in Chrome, the bottom offset, but just know it's there. So that just shows you how you can set or position a widget using set offsets, which is really the CSS positioning of left, right, top, and bottom. And I will see you in the next tutorial. Bye bye.